I've personally made hundreds of thousands of dollars selling AI to local businesses as a teenager. And today I'm going to break down exactly how you can start selling AI in 2026 from complete scratch, even if you have no experience, no audience, or no tech background whatsoever. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Selling AI sounds complicated, like you have to be some sort of coder or tech genius to pull it off. But I'm telling you right now, it is easier than ever before to close clients consistently if you have the correct process in place. And the problem is most people on YouTube just give you fluff and don't actually give you what you need to succeed. So that's why in this video, I'm going to be walking you through absolutely everything from what AI services are actually worth selling today to what niche and industry of clients you should be working with and choosing, my process to close clients consistently today within my own business, and how you can close that first deal from anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 up front. So make sure you stick around to the end of this video because I'm also going to be giving away a ton of stuff out completely for free, from my scripts to my website to my automations and much more, all completely for free. So stick around and let's jump into it. All right, so let's jump into exactly how I would start selling AI in 2026 today if I had to start completely from scratch. And I kind of coined it, an AI agency is the business model, but I know it's a very overused term today, but let's break down the unit, like kind of the whole economics of this business model from just the stats, from unitary gain to how much it costs to start, profit margin, demand, fulfillment, and deal type. And then we'll get into, actually how does it all work and really how I'd start getting clients that pay me consistently in just a moment. So let's start with unitary gain, okay? You can get paid anywhere from $3,000 to $10,000 per client once you have this set up correctly. Now in my agency today, I work with very high-end medical clinics, like stem cell clinics. Now I charge like 15 to 25 grand upfront. Now I don't think you guys should be doing that upfront because honestly, that's a bit of a reach, but it's great cash upfront. A lot of people, they sell small, low ticket, websites or NAN automations. Like that stuff's crap. Like it's pretty much garbage. And you need so many clients to make any money with it. So the great part about this is you need 1 to 2 clients and you make more than probably like 80% of America or whatever country you're going from, right? Next is the startup cost. So it costs less than $500 to start 1,000,000%. Like all you need is a GoHighLevel subscription, and then you need maybe like a Google domain. And that's all you need to start with this business model. Now, of course, this can get way higher if you involved, like if you want to run your own ads to close your own clients for your agency, like of course that's its own cost. I'll talk about that on what I recommend in a minute. But like long story short, if you started with $0, you can start this business model. Like it's not like you're starting some like restaurant or some local business where you have to have all the startup capital. It's not that way. Like you can start with less than $500, get a GoHighLevel 30-day free subscription, and then you're good. Next is profit margin. So generally it's going to be 70 to 90% off the gate. As you start to scale and you're more in the position that I'm at today, it does shrink down to about 50%, 50 to 60%, I'd say, if it's maintained correctly. So overall, it's high profit margin. Like this isn't some e-commerce store where it's super low margin and it's like you make, let's say, $10,000, but only $2,000 of it is your profit in your pocket, Next is demand. So it's extremely high. Like every business, and I'm going to get to the service in just a moment, but every business is looking to implement AI today, especially with the way that I set this up. And it's the reason it's so valuable. And it's the reason on my YouTube channel for 3 years straight, you guys have seen me essentially build this business model in public and been able to do so well with it. Next is fulfillment. It's manageable. The one thing I'll say is fulfillment is not like as easy as a drop shipping store where you just go to Alibaba and you just like order the product. Like you have to actually meet with your client. You have to make sure they're set up correctly. There's a lot of moving parts. But what I will say is like, overall, fulfillment is very manageable. You can hire people to jump in and kind of take the work off your plate. And even AI is taking over a lot of that today. And lastly is deal type. So it's high ticket upfront. All right. So this is not selling $100 products, $200 products. We are selling things, like I said, that's like 3, 5, 10K plus upfront. That might scare you, but that's why I put this stat here. 94% of businesses want to implement AI, but they just have no idea how. Okay. And that's the reality to it. So we want to bridge that gap, and we can charge a lot of money to do so because they know if they don't implement AI, it's like their business is going to go away. And that's why the news of AI just getting better is indirectly helping my business every single day. Because it's getting to those local business owners who are 40, 50, 60 years old, who quite frankly don't know how to use this stuff. Not a diss to anyone who's that age, but I think you know what I'm talking about. So let's quickly go over number one. What is an AI agency? So every service-based business out there, like especially local businesses, they have the same 3 problems, and we want to jump in and solve all 3. I give the example of like, we want to solve the whole offer with a bridge. We want to give them a bridge rather than just a brick. A lot of businesses, they just give their client one piece of the puzzle and then the client has to figure out the rest. And a lot of times, if you just give your client a website, for example, or even if you just run ads for your client, a lot of times you're just giving them one piece of the puzzle that doesn't solve the whole issue. And then your client has to pick up whatever's left, and then they might not succeed at it because that's just kind of common. Like they might not do a good job of that. other part that you didn't fulfill on, and they'll blame it on you, and then they'll cancel with you and they'll churn. That's very common. So we want to solve as many parts of the problems as possible. Like, it's a Jeff Bezos quote, which is like, absorb your customers' problems. And it's super true because they'll stay loyal. So problem one, every business wants more leads, okay? So everyone wants more customers. This is without a doubt. Now, the way we go about and I go about fixing this, and this comes into our service, is number one, we run AI-powered ads on Facebook and Instagram to generate leads for the client. Now, I'm going to talk about in this video kind of how I'd go about doing this, but like there's so many AI tools you can use out there. Like one comes to mind is ArcAds AI. You guys can look them up. They're super, super good. It's like less than $7 per video, I think. All you have to do is you just give them a script and it can make human looking AI actors just like this. And you can have ChatGPT or Claude make the script for you. So let's say you had like a client that was a real estate agent that wanted to, get more listings, or was an HVAC owner, like a roofer. You can pretty much make a script using AI and give it to this AI, and it will generate you a human looking like person that makes an ad like this, So it's really, really good. And then another one I'll recommend is Ideogram. I'll write this out right here. Ideogram. They are great for images. Super cheap. I use them for all my images today. Even in my agency that I run actively right now, almost all of our ads are ideograms. It's pretty crazy. And then you use AI to create full video, human looking ads, like I just said. So that's problem number one. So we can run ads to generate leads on Facebook and Instagram. That's problem number one we can solve. Problem number two is we can get appointments for them. So the whole problem with the social media marketing MMA offer that people have done over the years is a lot of the times when you just run ads and you generate leads, you don't actually follow up and convert the lead. And the problem there is your client then has to go call this lead, the roofer or the HVAC guy has to go call this new interested lead. And what if your client's busy? What if they're lazy? What if they don't want to call the lead? Now it makes your service essentially useless, because what's a name, email, phone number, like a lead? It doesn't mean anything, right? You have to like bridge the full gap. So that's why we can set up AI callers now that sound like a human, qualifies the lead, and books them directly into your client's calendar. It costs less than 12 cents per minute on the phone. Therefore, it's way cheaper than a human setter you'd have to hire. And AI callers are only getting bigger and better, guys. Like, really just look at the world. Like, do you think drive-thrus at McDonald's or these fast food chains that you're going to be talking to some person taking your order? Heck no. Even right now, they have technology where they can just, AI will take your order and do it. It's the same thing with like call centers and voice receptionists and front desks. They're going to go out the window. AI is going to take this over. And the best part about this is you can use GoHighLevel to actually set this all up. So in the link in the description below, I'll have a 30-day free trial for GoHighLevel. Like I was mentioning earlier, this is going to be the one non-negotiable setup you guys are going to have to do when you set it up. But I'll get to GoHighLevel section in just a moment. But you can sign up, get 30 days completely for free, because retail is probably the best platform out there for AI voice agents at the moment. I was actually at their headquarters 2 months ago in San Francisco. Met the founders. They do 8, if not 9 figures a year, and they're YC backed. They're probably the best on the market. You don't have to know how to code to do any of this stuff and set up these AI callers. It's all super no code, super friendly, but they've actually, I think, partnered with GoHighLevel. So now you can just do it in this one platform. It's super cool. Last thing is problem number 3, which is closing deals. Okay. So most local businesses have no real sales process. It's crazy to believe this, but it's the truth. And if they do, it's probably a pretty bad one. So you can analyze their entire sales process, even with like GPT or Claude, and I guarantee you'll find like 5-10 mistakes super fast. And that will help your client close more deals. And that becomes extremely valuable, because if you didn't give them this insight, then they wouldn't have made as much money. And it's directly correlated with your service. So just to recap, number one, what actually is an AI agency? Because a lot of people mix this term up with like AI automation. Number one, you're going to run ads and get leads. Number two, you're going to set up an AI caller to convert these leads that opt in. Right as someone opts in, 3 minutes later or 5 minutes later, this AI calls this new lead and books them into your client's calendar. And you can also consult your clients on actually their sales process. Okay. Fix all 3. Client makes more money. They stay with you and you build a real business. Okay. A lot of people are in this short term, charging $200 a month for some low ticket service. I get it. I was there at one point too. I thought that was super good. But at the end of the day, ask yourself, how many clients do you need to have that pay you $100 a month to make any substantial money? Okay. It's a lot easier to sell a very expensive service to a select group of people than an average crappy service to the masses. All right. That was probably stolen right from Alex Hormozi, but you guys get the point. Next, picking your niche. Okay. Now that we understand what the model is and what the service is, we got to pick our industry of clients to work with. So the comparison I give is like there's blue ocean industry markets and there's red ocean markets. So what blue ocean is, it's like low competition, AKA it's not saturated, quote unquote, right? There's less proof of concept that it works, But if you make it work and you go into this industry of, I'm trying to think of some like random industry, maybe like dog breeders, and you're going to help them with this service, there's probably not a lot of agencies working with dog breeders. But if you can become the number one agency for dog breeders because there's like no competition, you're probably going to make a lot of money. So it's high risk, high reward. Now, red ocean markets are like saturated, quote unquote, right? So they're proven, which is just another word for saturation. And other people are already making money here, just meaning you're going to have competition. So if you're new, start with red ocean. All right. I know this is super controversial. Everyone on YouTube tells you to go after this non-saturated market. But guys, like look at this from a third-party perspective. You want to go after the markets that is quote unquote saturated because it's proven. Why do we want to take a gamble for our first time in a business that we're starting and go after some market that we have no clue if people are even making money in, right? That's very risky. You don't want to do that. So you're better off starting with something like real estate agents, roofers, HVAC, these big businesses that you already know there's millions of these businesses that need help and you can help them, okay? And I'm going to go to what niches I recommend in just a moment. But the big rules I would say here is stick to one niche for 3 to 6 months. Do not jump around. This is the number one beginner mistake that everyone makes when they start agencies is they try to go different industries every single week. Waste of time, complete waste of time. There's a saying, riches are in the niches. I think it's true. It's super, super true. Like for context, I work with very high-end medical clinics. I don't ever plan on leaving this niche really ever. Or if I do, it's going to expand because I have like a department in my agency where my team can fulfill for something maybe similar, right? So stick with one, like even looking back, I got to like 20K a month when I was 17 with my real estate marketing agency on this channel. Looking back, if I stuck with real estate, maybe I'd be like 100, 200K a month right now. I don't know, like with that business specifically in that niche. So maybe more, because I know people in there that do those numbers. So the whole point is stick with it for a long period of time. Don't jump around. Next, start with what you already know, okay? So for example, if you're getting your law degree, maybe go after lawyers. Or if your dad was a roofer growing up, maybe go after roofers. The whole point here is stick with what you know because that's going to help you in the sales process. A lot of people, they get mixed around with like not knowing the lingo of every market. Like I can spit out terms that real estate agents use because I was in the market. I just chose it because it sounded cool and I just knew real estate agents was a big market. But like you got to know the terms like GCI, gross commission income. That's a very common term that real estate agents use. And if you can use that term on a sales call, that's going to increase your chances of closing because they're like, damn, this dude actually knows what he's talking about. That's just another word for like how much profit they made, right? So start with what you already know. Next, target a niche with at least 20,000 business owners in your country and focus on 1 or 2 countries only. Don't go more than that. I think it's going to be super confusing. Now, what to look for in a niche? You want high average deal size, business owners who are 40 to 60 years old and not tech savvy. You can go lower, of course, like I have clients right now that are in their 30s, but this is like the prime market, I would say, because they're older. They probably don't understand social media or tech as much, but they have money, which is the great part. So they can pay a lot. Recurring revenue potential. So for example, I'm not going to get too in the weeds here, but like a lot of my clients that I work with, we go from upfront initially to rev share model after that, because that's actually more lucrative for us. And we're incentivized, right? Just to get a big amount up front, it's cool, but it's also like, how do we stay motivated? After like a couple months, like it's kind of hard to. And then local service businesses, they can't offshore the work, so they can't replace you easily, right? Like this sort of service, I'm telling you guys in this video of an AI agency is very, very hard to replace because ultimately it's one of those things where it's like we're handling so much of their fulfillment, they become reliable on us, or so much of their acquisition of clients rather. Now, top niches right now. This is a list here, but I actually have a whole chart here that I can show you guys on kind of what I'm seeing right now of top niches out there. There's 3 different buckets I look at. There's home service, professional services, and high ticket online businesses. High ticket online businesses I think is hard and don't go in here like marketing agencies, consulting, info products coaches. Don't work with these type of businesses unless you've ran one of them yourself. Like if you haven't ran a high ticket online business, probably just stick with these 2 buckets. And I honestly think they're just the easiest. So like when we look at these, roofer, HVAC, pool builders, solar, landscaping, bookkeepers, real estate agents, there's millions of these business owners that are looking for this service, right? So my big recommendation is obviously follow the rules I just said, but they all can work. Like they all struggle with all these, like wedding companies, med spas. Wedding companies is definitely more of like a blue ocean market, but my whole point is like they all struggle with the same things. So we can just jump in and we can solve that gap. That's like our whole problem that we're fixing for them. And the quick math I like to look at is one roofing job is, let's say, $10,000. One solar deal, $20,000. Like this is very worth it for them if you can just bring them an extra few customers a month. And the great part about this is back in the day, people used to use billboards. Billboards would be at a huge place in the town or whatever, or the city, and would hit not the ideal buyer type. It would hit everyone that would drive past it. Now with social media, these are like digital billboards. We can target people who are actively looking for, let's say, a new roof in the area, or like a new solar panels on the roof, because the algorithm knows. It's the smartest like door knocker. It's like a digital door knocker is what I call it. And it can't get much better than that. Next, number 3, after we understand our industry and we picked our niche, we got to craft our offer and our pricing. Okay. So our offer simply is ads on social media plus an AI caller plus a sales script rebuild. Now this third one I almost put as optional here because I really think that this is one of those things where it's like, if you've never ran a roofing business before and you have no clients, it's going to be kind of hard to consult them. I'm sure you could with like AI and she helping you, but long story short, I think you should really stick. This is like the foundational service because number 1, lead generation through the ads, and then you convert these leads into sales appointments on your client's calendar through the AI caller. So all they have to do is show up and close the deal. Every business owner would dream of that situation. That's the whole package. Now, when it comes to pricing, there's kind of 3 different buckets I look at. There's pay in full or PIF, there's retainer, and there's trial offer. So if I was starting from 0 today, I always say this is like a super important part nobody's going to tell you on YouTube. But when you want to go set your prices for a service like this, number 1, you need to look at a few factors. Like I would look at number 1, do you have sales experience and are you actively learning? Do you understand the niche you're going after? Are you confident on calls or on camera? Do you have experience? Do you look and sound professional? Okay, these are all boxes you want to check, and if you don't check these, it's gonna change what offer you should be pitching based on your odds. Okay, for example, when I was starting in this YouTube channel, I was 16 years old. I was extremely overweight. I was a video game addict, and I was super unprofessional. Okay, say the least. And I didn't sound professional. I had like a squeaky voice, like all that. For me, do you think I could have gone out and charged $3,000 to $5,000 upfront confidently and closed deals? Why not? Okay, I probably would have jumped on all these calls and wasted my opportunity because I don't fit the part. Okay, you have to assess yourself. Do you feel like you are confident enough to charge this? There's some of you guys who are watching this video right now. You're salespeople. You guys have been in the game before. You guys understand sales, and you're super confident on the phone. Great. Go start with this. You know what I mean? But there's going to be a whole nother section of you guys who are not. Now, if you feel like you're in the middle here where it's like you do check some of these boxes, but you also don't, maybe going out the gate with a retainer is better. And then if you don't check any of these and you're like where I was starting out and you just weren't confident, a trial offer is probably best resort. Okay. And this is actually what I did starting out and I worked my way up. But whole point is the PIF is just like a pay in full model. So it's $3,000 to $5,000 upfront to start. And eventually over time, you can increase your prices or add in a rev share model after the first 90 days of your service. Usually that's kind of the whole package is like, it'll be, let's say $3,000 for a 90-day service or $5,000 for a 90-day service of just ads plus the AI caller setup. And client always will cover the ad spend. So client pays their own ad spend separately. This is not included in your sales price. And this is going to be anywhere, it's very niche dependent, $20 to $100 a day plus. Like, for example, the lowest I allow my clients to spend on ads every day is $100 a day. But when I was working with real estate agents, I'd have clients that spend $20 a day. So it's just like dependent, like kind of just take what you can get to an extent. But it's a 3-month long service agreement. And then after the 3 months, you can charge some sort of monthly retainer. Or if the results are absolutely crushing for them and you feel like it's very lucrative to do some sort of, rev share model or whatever amount of money you bring to their business, you get a percent. That also works as well. Now, the retainer model is just essentially this, except you are just, instead of charging this big amount up front, you're going to charge monthly. So let's say for 3 months, that's your service agreement, you charge $1,500 a month. Okay. So that'd be 3 months, that'd be $4,500. Okay. Same thing, ongoing ads management plus the AI caller management. Client still pays their own ad spend. After 3 months, maybe just like a lower monthly fee. And the last resort is a trial offer. So this is actually what I started with, like I said, where essentially all you do is you go to them and you're just like, after you have sales calls, you have, hey, we have a 3-week long service agreement. It's $300, take it or leave it, and this is like very easy to get quick deals. Like I would close probably 65% of all the calls I jumped on that I pitched this. And then this is a great way to, number 1, farm experience. Experience is actually worth a lot more than the money at the start. A lot of people won't tell you that. And number 2, you get testimonials. Okay, so one thing I would do is I would say, hey, look, I'll do it for a super cheap price, 3 weeks, $300. But the clause in here is at the end of the 3 weeks, you make a quick 45-second video saying that I ran your ads and you liked working with me if you did. And then they say, cool. And it's like you almost kind of get them in that deal and you get some quick testimonials. Okay. And then eventually over time, you can charge bigger amounts. And yeah, ultimately, I think it's way better to charge this upfront stuff than the $200 a month stuff, because high ticket clients, like I can tell you guys from a business lesson I've learned, working with clients that pay you more is infinitely easier than clients that pay you less. There's a meme I used to always see, and it was like the client that pays you $300, right after they pay, they're hamming your phone. When's the results? When's the delivery? When are we going to be done? The client that pays you $10,000, they ghost you. You have to like hammer them, and then you have to message them. And they'll be like, oh, I forgot about this. It's kind of like a meme. Obviously, it's not always true, but it's like, you guys get the point. Like, it kind of is like, it's just better to work with higher level people. Now, Go High Level Setup is the next section. So once you have number one, which is you understand kind of the model as a whole, right? What is an AI agency? Number two, you have your niche picked of industry of clients you want to work with. And number three, you've crafted your offer and pricing. So you understand, number one, what you're charging. So whether you're doing one of these three routes, and you just kind of understand your whole thing. Just write this all down on a piece of paper on a Google Doc. I think it'll help you a ton. Once you're there, you have to set up Go High Level. Okay, so Go High Level is the all-in-one platform that's going to run your entire agency, from setting up appointment reminders to your calendar, to your website, to your funnels, to everything in your business is hosted on here. So I will have a top link in the description below where you guys can get access to Go High Level. You guys get 30 days completely for free. And on top of that, you get a ton of bonuses that pretty much nobody else offers online. I don't sell any sort of like paid course at the moment or anything like that. All I do is I just give a ton of resources and help to my active Go High Level affiliates, because of course, very transparently, I get a cut of this. But that being said, it's a software you guys would have to use anyways, and the price doesn't change. You guys just sign up with my link, and you guys get a whole ton more bonuses than if you signed up just regularly. So you actually get a full access to a community that looks exactly like this, with a ton of video modules that I broke it down, how to book sales calls, very in depth, everything like that, and sales call recordings, different bonuses. You get resource library, and on top of that, probably the craziest part, you get 5 weekly Q&A calls, and 2 of these are with me as of right now. So this is all just for signing up for a software you guys would need anyway. So I'll have that top link in the description below to sign up with this right here. But the whole point is Go High Level is going to be where everything is set up. Okay, and I have all the videos inside that community. Once you join, you're going to get an invite for it on how to set it up step by step, because obviously that's just a whole separate video. But that being said, Go High Level is going to do everything I'm showing you here. So it's going to be automations from follow-ups, reminders. Once people book calls with you, like your potential clients, they book a call with you, they get reminders, follow-ups, emails, texts, everything like that, all in this one platform, just so that you make sure they show up to the call. Booking calendar, you host your calendar here. You can connect your Zoom, everything like that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So you guys can sign up for that below, and then you'll have the whole instructions kind of sent to you over email once that's done. So this is kind of just your back-end setup. It's the boring stuff, but it's crucial. You have to have it. And then now let's get into the fun stuff. So how to actually get clients. So there's 3 different methods you can do. You can do, number 1, you can do outreach, okay? Number 2, you can do paid ads. And number 3, you can do organic content. So when I was starting, the only method that was talked about was outreach. So for example, this is like cold calls, cold DMs, Instagram outreach, LinkedIn outreach, cold email, all this type of stuff, right? This was the only thing that was advertised to me when I was starting an agency. And I got to like $3K a month with this, okay? Like I stacked a bunch of these like $300, $400, $500 3-week trial periods like I was talking about earlier. And I just stacked up enough cash all through outreach, okay? And then once I transitioned, I had some money, I started investing into paid ads. So what this is essentially you run your own ads on social media exactly how you would for your client, but you just do it for yourself. So instead of saying, let's say you're working with real estate agents, instead of saying home buyers in Seattle, Washington, get a free home free homes list today, or something like that, right? Instead, you would just say, real estate agents, if you want more listings or home buyers in 2026, I have an AI system that will do all of this for you completely on autopilot. The only thing you have to do is show up to the calls I book on your calendar with qualified prospects. Click the learn more button below to see if we can get you 10 listing appointments in the next 90 days, or you don't pay a single dollar. You guys can tell I'm trained on this stuff, but you get my point. You know, it's like paid ads is extremely leveraged, because this is what I transparently do in my agency today, because you just run ads with whatever budget you can afford. I'd say budget like $1,500, like $1,000 to $1,500 when you're starting out to get a first client with this. If you have less than that, please do outreach or method 3, which I'm gonna talk about in a second. But essentially this is where you just book sales calls with potential clients on autopilot on your calendar, okay? This is what nobody talks about on YouTube. It's crazy to me. I think it's very gatekept, but this is what every big agency owner does. And if someone on YouTube is telling you that they don't do that and they make a bunch of money, they're probably lying, okay? I know the game. I've seen people. This is how you scale, okay? And essentially all it is ads going to lead to a Go High Level funnel that you build out. I actually give you a bunch of these funnels, so I'll show you guys an example right now. This is what it looks like inside a Go High Level. And once you guys import my snapshot with the bonuses and resources I give, you can I'm gonna quickly log into my account I use real quick, so 1 second. So once I'm in here, I go down to sites on the left, and then I can show you guys this one you guys get access to right here, which is a booking page. So I've already templatized everything out for you guys, where essentially all you have to do is, once you import my entire snapshot, is you just replace the words here. So you just put your niche up here. So for example, real estate agents looking to scale past 2 listings per month, or 2 customers per month, or whatever it is. Implement AI into your business today to scale to 2 listings a month within the next 90 days, or you don't pay. Schedule a call with us to learn how we do it. And then this calendar is automatically hosted inside of GoHighLevel that connects to your calendar and is connected to Zoom. So it auto-populates a link and all that crap, kind of, boring stuff, right? And then what you also have right after they book a call is what's called the thank you page. So this is extremely crucial. Once people book a call with you, and this is the page you send all the traffic if you're running ads from. I know I'm kind of starting on method 2, but when you run ads, you're going to send people to a page just like this where they can book a call. They put their name, email, phone number, whatever, boom, done. And then once they've booked a call, they're going to get automatically redirected to what's called a pre-call page or thank you page. Now this page is extremely crucial because you're going to film a video that's 3 to 5 minutes long, just like I am here, but more so full screen to the camera, going over the expectations of what they need to know before the call. So for example, hey John, super, or hey everybody, if you're watching this video, that means you've booked a call with our team. Super excited to have this call with you. I just want to go over quick rules and quick expectations before this call so you get the most out of it and you don't feel like we're wasting any time whatsoever. And I'm also going to cover some crucial points that you're going to need to know before showing up to this call so you actually have it ready. Number 1, show up with a pen, notepad, paper ready in a quiet environment. Do not show up in your car with a baby screaming in the back or bad Wi-Fi because we're just honestly not going to take the call with you. Be in a serious environment because we're going to be asking you questions about your business, understanding if we can truly help you. And if we can, we're going to be pulling up our screen, showing you exactly what we do A through Z. And if this AI system can work for you in your business, blah, blah, blah. Make sure you show up to the call and put it on your calendar. Done. That's kind of the video, right? And then you throw that right here. Of course, it kind of just looks like this. And then right here, you can actually film what's called breakout videos. So essentially you just film pre-handling objection videos that the person will see before the call. Because remember, there's a stat where you can read this online, but a buyer needs on average about 8 hours to purchase from someone, 8 hours of content consumption. So put yourself in this prospect's shoes. They just saw some random ad that you were running on Facebook, and then you sent them to a page like this, they booked a call, boom, now they see your face. This is like 3 minutes, okay? How do we bridge that 8 hours? Of course, you're not actually going to be, but you can pre-handle objections and gain trust over time. So you can make a quick video that's like 1 minute long that handles the question on, how does this program work and what does it do that actually gets me more business? Or number 2, how much does it cost? And then number 3, I've been burned before. How do I know this isn't a scam? Now, of course, for video 2, you're not going to tell them the price $3,000, $5,000 up front. You're more so just going to dodge around it, almost like a politician reply where you're just like, look, our price is super simple. We don't even know yet. We have to speak on this call because obviously we do very custom plans. We're not a cookie cutter agency like most out there. We take our clients and our results very seriously. So it's honestly really going to depend when you jump on the call with us, what your problems are and what you feel like you need. And then we can build some sort of custom plan and game plan around this to make sure you can succeed. Blah, 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 right? You guys get the point. So you don't want to answer that directly. And lastly, if you want to add any sort of client testimonial screenshots or videos, you can add that here below. This is all just to gain trust and make sure they show up to the call and they don't just no-show. All right, let me add back to the doc because that was kind of a lot. But whole point is, if you have money to run for paid ads, I highly recommend it, okay? You can use AI to make all the ads for you. It's super easy. And this is how you scale fast because you just have so many calls on your calendar and you can just be in sales call mode. You just take so many sales calls. You don't got to worry about doing outreach or content, for example. Now, let me talk about outreach. So if you are, let's say you have less than $1,000 in the bank, this is probably the route to go, okay? I don't want to tell you guys to do paid ads unless you have like disposable income to do this because truly this is a gambling budget. I always say it's like this is money that you have to be willing to burn, okay? Because the chances of you making money with this, it's kind of like I go into a casino every day. I run ads every single day. I got billed for my Amex. I have like a $20,000 bill on there at the moment. And in my agency, I'm willing to take the risk because it's when you go to the gambling table, but you know you have like an edge, right? And if you follow the right guidance and you run ads correctly, you have an edge. And that's how people are so profitable at advertising, right? So just make sure when you're starting off, you need to have the right information. I have a ton of YouTube content, obviously. Once you guys sign up with GoHighLevel, you're going to get a bunch of resources around how to do this properly and scale correctly so you don't just waste money. Now, when it comes to outreach, I have actually a video that I posted probably recent as I'm recording this video right now on my channel where I did a full start from zero AI agency video that I hosted with a good friend of mine he's been like an outreach expert on how to actually correctly do outreach for probably 7 years in the agency space now. So as much as I would tell you guys to like watch this video and keep going through this video, but if you were going the outreach route, please watch that after. It's like, I think 45 minutes long. But I kind of have some rules here. So it's like Instagram DMs, LinkedIn, cold call, etc. They're all, obviously the routes you can take. And just make sure you're, short, specific, and relevant to them. Don't do the cookie cutter stuff. I get DMs. Business owners get DMs all day on Instagram and Facebook and all this stuff. You need to stand out. You can't have the same crap that everyone sees, right? Now, method 3 is organic content. So this is something nobody talks about, but you can post on YouTube and Instagram about your process and your results. So for example, if I was working with roofers, I could make a YouTube channel with my business name, my agency name, saying how we help roofers, how AI is revolutionizing the roofing industry in 2026. And I could literally just go on a Lucid chart. You guys can look up Lucid exactly like this, like I do a ton of my videos, and I just break down concepts. Okay, you can do the same thing, but for your clients, and you just talk about what you do as a service and how it can help them. And if you just get 50 to 100 views, that could potentially be a client. It's going to be the warmest people, warmest prospects that come in your funnel you'll ever see. And I know a few people that have like YouTube channels for their agencies. They get like 100 views every video, which is not much. And I am not joking when I say they close normally like a client every video. So just to mention, views are a vanity metric. Don't worry about views. Don't worry about going viral. You just want to hit the right people and break down concepts that are relevant. Now, this takes 3 to 6 months to really gain any traction or results. Like organic content, posting on YouTube, posting on Instagram, this stuff, it takes time. It's a snowball. So just keep that in mind. But when it works, it's inbound leads that come to you, no outreach needed. It's just the warmest prospect you're ever going to get. That's probably a laydown. Okay. So my opinion, if you have more than like $1,000 in the bank, paid ads is the way to go if you're willing to risk it and use the resources that I give you guys to do this properly, because I have a whole section on how to book sales calls and I give you a ton of stuff on this stuff. So just make sure, obviously, once you sign up with Go High Level below, you use the resources I give you, because if not, you will burn your money. And then when it comes to that, if you have less than $1,000, go outreach route and then maybe post organic content alongside that. Now, number 6, how do we actually close the sales call? So I have a bunch of videos on my channel of actual sales calls recently that we've closed with clients of ours, and just sales calls from my own team and my agency that I would tell you to actually watch. Like, my channel is kind of just this big dictionary of a bunch of different videos you guys can watch on different concepts. Like, I have everything you'd possibly need probably out there. So you can watch sales calls on my channel, but whole point is I like to present it like a 3-pillar approach. Okay. I don't know if I have it on this chart, but I actually do. So right here, this is actually exactly what we show in our sales calls. We show a chart that looks exactly like this, and we go, not where it says like how to close sales calls, but we just call it like a program, right? So our agency is called Scale Your Clinic, or when I say our, I have a business partner. So my agency is Scale Your Clinic. So I'll say like Scale Your Clinic AI program or AI 90-day program. And then we just break down number 1, pillar 1 is lead generation. Okay. Pillar 2 is appointment setting, and pillar 3 is sales. The exact same stuff I just told you guys all above here at the very top. I'm not going to scroll there, but we break down exactly what I've been saying on this doc in plain words, and we don't use any sort of like crazy sales presentation or slide deck or anything like that. We literally show exactly something like this, just to break down exactly what happens when they onboard with us and what actually is the service. Okay. We don't BS around it. Like, our presentation is maybe 5 minutes long, and then it's around handling objections, etc. And just understand, like, you're not selling ads and you're not selling like leads. You're selling a full sales system. And that's what a lot of people get wrong when they sell service-based businesses, especially with online marketing. This is why this whole model is kind of different. We can charge a lot of money for this stuff. We solve the whole gap. Like I said, it's a bridge that we're giving. We're not just giving them a brick. Okay, so around sales calls, I would just tell you guys, keep it simple. And what's going to matter most is your discovery. Okay, your discovery is the first 15, 20, 30 minutes of the call, where you just ask them questions about your business. This is before you've shown anything about your service. You need to go through what is wrong with their business. You need to find pain points, and you need to use that as ammo. I have a sales coach, and I used to have a sales coach that would always tell me when I was starting out my agency days, which was like, you in the discovery, when you ask them a bunch of questions, you want to just dig into their pain. Like, you want to just grab it, and you want to use that as ammo for when you jump and you actually show them your solution. Like, when you pull up your screen and show them something like this, you want to just keep using their points of what they said that they're struggling with or that hasn't been well, and almost like fill that with a Band-Aid. I don't know if that makes sense the way I'm saying it, but whole long process. And long story short, discovery is going to be the most important part, because that's where you're going to keep frame and you're going to figure out the problems of what they're doing well, what they're doing wrong, etc. Now, next thing, and by the way, last thing I'll say here too, if you do your presentation, your discovery right, usually handling objections, there are no objections, if maybe tiny, very little. That's why the discovery of going through questions is so important. Now, pretty much lastly, number 7, like, how do we actually fulfill their service? Because all this stuff sounds super cool, but you're probably like, Carson, I have no clue how to do this stuff. So I actually made a recent video on client fulfillment as well, on how we all do this in my process with my agency today. But for example, the second we close a client, okay, I'm going to give a quick rundown on how this all works. So this is like a YouTube video of our sales call. This is my closer right here. Close the deal. Within the first 48 hours, client's going to complete onboarding funnel steps, and we ship a personal gift to their house. Okay, so this is something like an edible arrangement, if you guys know what that is, which is like, it's like a chocolate or something like that. And this actually reduces churn and dissatisfaction on a crazy level from any clients that ever kind of just get mediocre results, because we actually kind of make it like a personal relationship. In the first 48 hours, we have a kickoff call, which is the first kind of call we have. We sign an agreement, get Facebook access, send them ad scripts, push for upsells, blah, blah, blah. There's kind of a bunch of stuff. The whole point is we try to get them launched by day 7 to 10. And we have what's called a launch call. So the whole process is right after they're closed, they're booked into what's called a kickoff call. And then we kind of work on building everything out within days, 1 through 7, once we have the information possible. And we deliver it all to them by day 7 to 10 on a launch call, where we kind of run the whole system and then we actually launch the campaign. And then number 1, 2, and 3, we have weekly check-in calls on month 1 with Loom campaign reports every single Monday inside their Slack channel. Number 2, we have bi-weekly check-in calls with, again, Loom campaign reports every Monday. It's just like a non-negotiable we do for every client of ours. And then number 3, we also have bi-weekly check-in calls as well with fast communication. And just for like some context, here's kind of how our fulfillment journey and process works is we run a video ad, image ad. So this is actually a video AI ad just through ArcAds that we have right here that's actually crushing for us at the moment with one of our clients. And you can like see his campaign right here, for example. So he's getting like $86 per lead. It's actually less than this. Once we did the math, the tracking was a little bit wrong. But we made an ad like this. We're sending all the traffic. So this client specifically is offering very high-end like joint relief treatments. So we send all the leads to a page like this with a survey at the bottom. Once they've completed the survey, they get directed to a calendar that'll go directly with the clinic. And then we have what's called a pre-call page. So the exact same process we use for ourselves in our own paid ads process, we use for them too. And then of course, once that's all done, we have a booked consult. So this is actually directly from our Slack channel. Skylar, who's a team member of mine, wrote in their Slack channel, we actually booked like this client specifically like 3 or 4 appointments that same day and consults, which is very, very, very good. Now, but where the AI caller comes into play is between this page right here, which is like an opt-in page and a booking page, there's usually about a 50% drop-off rate. So that's where the high-level retail AI caller comes into play and will call all these people who didn't actually go book a call because they got to this page, but they just didn't end up booking after they opted in. I know this is getting into the nitty-gritty, but this is kind of the whole process on how it actually all works. And yeah, I mean, this is kind of broken down, so you guys kind of get the point. You guys can look at all this stuff here. But we try to launch things at latest within 14 days, and then we kind of just keep check-ins going. And the goal of client fulfillment really is to get results fast. So some quick bonus tips I'll give for you guys is when you take on a client, there's a few quick levers you can pull. Number 1, you can also upsell for this stuff, as in charge more for this service. But a lot of clients we work with, we actually just do this for free because we get results faster from it. If they have a past leads list, which pretty much every business does, you set up what's called a reactivation campaign. So let's say this leads list was 1,000 people with this real estate agent that you were working with. They were like, yeah, I have a leads list of 1,000 people that I collected over the past 5 years. So these are all people that know, like, and trust this real estate agent. What we can do is we can take this entire leads list before even launching their ad campaign, before we've had our launch call or any of that stuff. We import it into our GoHighLevel account that we built for her, okay? Because everything's, again, built inside of HighLevel, including client accounts. We put it in there and we send a text blast or some sort of email automation to all these 1,000 people saying, hey, look, if you've been looking to buy or sell a home in the Seattle area recently, I've got a crazy offer for you, blah, blah, blah. Speak with us here. And usually you can get a bunch of free bookings that way. Or something else I know some people do is like reputation management. So they'll take this 1,000 people, instead of trying to book them into like a sales call or whatever it is with your client, they'll actually just say, hey, look, you get a free $5 gift card if you just give us a 5-star review if you've interacted with us on Google Business. And you can get a ton of free reviews right there for your client for pretty much no work. And a client's never good. Like, a client wants to keep working with you if they see those results fast. The first thing you want to always give the fast dopamine spikes for every client that works with you, and then give them a return, just throughout the whole service I talked about. Now, realistic timeline to first client, I always tell you guys, give it 3 to 6 months. Okay. I know no one's going to tell you this on YouTube, but like, give this time. Like, for me, it took 6 months before I built any sort of progress. Like, I didn't even have sales call on my calendar. I didn't have a client by month 6. I had no progress to show. I was posting on this YouTube channel. You guys can go back and actually look at it. But my point is give it time. I know people that have hit 10K a month within 2 months. I know people that have taken it 2 years. All right. But guess what? The people who win are just the people who stick with it, like anything in life. So give things time, no matter how long it takes. Follow the basic principles and rules that I'm telling you guys here, and then you'll be good. Okay. And I like to say the average is like 90 days to close a client. So if you can follow this, you'll be good. Like I said, it took me 6 months to book my first call at 16. So you could probably do this faster than I can, honestly, especially with the information I give out, because I honestly just had the wrong information at the start. I didn't know what to do, but like I have bulletproofed it. Like I get DMs every day from people saying they close a client just with my free content. They haven't paid me $1. So, hopefully that speaks volume. But guys, that being said, that is really the entire roadmap. So my CTA, my call to action to you guys, stop watching videos unless you guys need the help around certain things. Start doing, okay? The people who watch online business videos all day usually are broke, okay? I don't watch many online business videos at all, if any, because I'm busy doing what I know I need to do, okay? And then at a certain point, you just hire mentors to jump on calls with you and tell you what to do. So if I were you guys, 1,000,000%, if you guys are starting out, you guys are gonna need Go High Level. Anyways, like I said earlier, you guys get 30 days completely for free. You don't owe $1, and you get a ton of other stuff with it as well, okay? I don't have a paid course right now, anything like that. I'm building the best free AI agency community in the world. And the best part about Go High Level is it's really almost like a, if you guys win, I win type of thing. Because if you don't see value from my free content and you just decide to cancel Go High Level, I'm not compensated. So I'm very incentivized to help you guys win, and that's why I give you so much within this. Okay, Go High Level is $297 a month, and you're getting about probably a $10,000 course completely for free with it. Okay, not alone 5 weekly group calls. You can bring questions on how to close clients, how to use the AI callers, my Q&As. I bring people in from my own agency team with a community of people. It's crazy. So please, guys, leverage this. You guys can sign up with the top link in the description below. Get that done. And guys, that being said, that is exactly how I'd start selling AI today, 2026. And hopefully this made sense. I know we went kind of in the weeds a little bit with some details, but I feel like it's valuable because a lot of people give you fluff online and not things that are actually true or the things that they're doing today. All of these things I'm showing you guys right here, I am actively doing, and I get billed from running my own ads for my agency a lot of money for every single day, okay? So please take information from the right people, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment what you liked about this video or any questions you have. I reply to every single comment personally on my own. I don't have anyone else that does it for me. So yeah, guys, that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys later. Peace.